Earlier today, it was Carl Edwards who picked up where he left off last November as the darling of the desert. He was the best in the house. Carl Edwards putting his Ford on the pole, picking up his 14th career pole and third of 2009 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Now, while you watch to see where your favorite driver is starting, let's visit with our in-race reporter, the driver of the Cars.com Z-Line Designs Toyota, Kyle Busch, who starts back in 5th tonight.
Hey, Kyle, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Hey, Dale. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Kyle. Hey, man, we love your style of all-out driving, but I just wanted to know, racing for this championship, are you making any decisions based on the points instead of that wide-open driving style all the time?
Yeah, you've got to a little bit. You know, when you run for a championship, you've got to change somewhat. So for us, you know, we feel like we did the right thing last week by running second. That was the best we could do. We could have taken a chance and driven too hard there, raced Joey too hard, and, you know, ended up wrecking ourselves. But racing in the way that we are, we feel like we did the right thing. So we're looking forward to tonight. Hopefully we've got a good car where we won't really have to race anybody and we can race ourselves.
All right, Kyle, our second question comes from our ESPN mailbag, and Shane in Palo Verde, Arizona would like to know, you seem to race very well at Phoenix and Las Vegas. Why are you so successful racing in the desert?
I'm not sure. Same to be said for California. I'm pretty good there, too. So it must be the time zone. You know, I got an automatic clock that goes off in my head at 8 o'clock every morning. I'm up and awake. You know, it doesn't seem to work that well on the East Coast. So love it out here on the West Coast. So close to Vegas, so close to home. Feels nice, feels good. Got friends here. Just going to go out and give it a shot.
All right, man, we actually think you're pretty good everywhere, and thanks for talking with us tonight. Have a great race, and now Andy's going to talk with your crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe.
Hey, Jason, Andy up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jason, you guys raced each other really hard last week at Nashville, and you've talked about how you guys share all your information between the teams. But when it comes down to having to beat that teammate to win, how do you do it?
Well, it's tough. It's very challenging, as you saw last week. But like you said, our cars are usually set up very, very similar, which makes it, you know, when you're out there battling head-to-head, it makes it even that much more difficult to find even the smallest advantage. So you rely even more on your pit crew. It comes down to the little things, you know, how well your driver gets through traffic. You know, it's my job to keep up with you know, a couple tenths of air pressure can mean a lot in that situation. But that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to try to be mistake-free on pit road and not make any mistakes to get this Z-Line Toyota back to victory lane.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, Jason. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, what a great job he has done this year for that Joe Gibbs Racing team. We'll have onboard cameras in 7 other cars tonight. A couple of Nationwide Series regulars, Mike Bliss and Jason Leffler, have not won here in a stock car, but they have been successful in USAC competition. And impressive rookie Justin Allgaier starting back in 42nd position. And Andy, this pit road can throw you a curve in a lot of ways. Explain it to us.
It can, Doc, because it is curved, and as you come around this thing, these guys are making these pit stops, but what they're looking for is they're looking for this line right here on this racetrack, and they're racing for the pit out line, and that's where they're going to be racing to. And there's some good pits on this pit road. You see Carl Edwards has the best one because he only has to roll just a little bit to the end.
Got to negotiate the curve and get off there. It's going to be a challenge. Here they come out of turn 4. Carl Edwards, who just joined our coverage, missed all but 30 minutes of practice with a damaged race car, but still put it on the pole.
Joey Logano had a great start there. Gets off of turn 2 and takes the lead.
Paul Menard slipping back. He will lose a couple of spots right in the middle there, sliding back behind the 18 of Busch and the 33 of Harvick.
It's like Joey likes that view out front from last week. He's taking off right where he's left off in Nashville.
You can get used to that in a hurry.
We commented a moment ago, if you weren't tuned in during our NASCAR Countdown show, Alan Bestwick mentioned the fact that in the one and only morning practice section, Carl Edwards' car was damaged with some sheet metal damage. They spent 90 minutes in the garage here, only got 30 minutes of practice at DJ. That could have an impact on the car as the night wears on.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially here at the beginning. He's not exactly sure what his car is going to be like here at the start, even though they did get some more practice, but he's just going to feel things out. He's in a championship battle. He's not going to take any chances. As we see Jeff Burton racing David Reagan here, you're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing here, and you saw David Reagan on that outside have the momentum and be able to make the pass.
Back in 11th position is the 6 car, David Reagan. We're talking about one of the drivers to watch. And there's a 16 car. Last time we saw Greg Biffle, he was going to victory lane. And at Las Vegas, breaking that 76 race winless streak, and now he's being challenged for 4th spot.
Yeah, I thought Kyle Busch was just going to be able to drive by Greg, but Greg's giving him a fight right here.
Yeah, and that outside, you can carry some momentum. You can hold somebody up down on the bottom if they can't get to the gas, although it looks like maybe Kyle's going to make the pass here. You see a battle for the lead here as Carl Edwards is pulled back to the bumper of Joey Logano. Really hard. Winning the pole is a great thing, but on that first lap, the guy on the outside really has a little bit of an advantage because you don't want to drive down in there, drive too hard, slide up into him, and then you don't want to get into the gas too hard and maybe spin the tires on that initial start. So it's really tough to do that. We see Carl fighting back now, going to try to get back to the lead and get those 5 bonus points.
Yeah, we see Kyle Busch now as clear as Greg Biffle is chasing these guys down. There's 11th spot. Look how loose he is. Reagan gets sideways off the corner.
Yeah, that's what can happen. These guys they're going to use the apron of this racetrack sun to get their car turned, but if you get down there, it de-wedges the car sometimes. You get in the gas too hard, you'll break the back end loose.
Trying to hold off Scott Wimmer. That's 13th position as David Reagan has now lost a couple of spots. Mike Kelly, the crew chief of the 6 car, told me that they thought that David Reagan, this could be his night. They brought the best race car they have, the one he finished 5th with here last year, 4th at Milwaukee, and 4th at Richmond. He said he loves the race car, and it gets stronger as the night goes on.
See these guys up front, they're really heating it up. Here comes Carl Edwards on the inside.
You know, we had a couple of questions about Carl running that much faster. What would his car be like? I think he's showing us right now it's going to be pretty good.
Just stay smooth. You're going to leave him behind.
He better look back just behind that 20 car as the guy is coming. Kyle Busch said in the countdown show that he wasn't accustomed to starting back all the way in 5th place. He's used to starting up front. He's trying to get there in a hurry.
Imagine starting way back in 5th.
Yeah.
By the way, a couple of cars in the garage area. Kenny Wallace and the 28 car and the 90 of Dave Blaney. Battle for 8th position.
Michael Waltrip, he's one of the guys I would consider a sleeper in this race. He really needs to prove something, and he's got a good car. That's a good team. He's got a good starting spot. He started in the top 10 now. It looks like he's moving the right direction, moving forward.
Michael making only his 5th start of the year. Been a while since he's gone to victory lane back in 2004. Contact there.
Tap there from Mike Bliss. Paul Menard, he didn't get in the gas quite as much as Michael was too. So now you'll see a lot of that as this night goes on and this race moves on. It's hard to pass here, and sometimes you have to use the bumper to move these guys just to break a little bit of traction, then you can go on and make a pass.
And when you've got somebody on your rear bumper, the intensity of getting by that guy comes up a little bit.
That's right, definitely does. Saw Jeff Burton look like he was going to be able to make the pass there. He has to fall back in behind Paul Menard.
And a couple of teammates going at it here with Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. That is for 2nd spot. It looks like Kyle will move to the inside and take it away.
And the car looks good out front right now, and it's early. I think if he's got any kind of problems with his setup from not having any practice time, it'll show up later in this run and as the track gets a little bit cooler.
11 laps in the books here of 200 at Phoenix International Raceway. The jewel in the desert hosting the NASCAR Nationwide Series. And cousin Carl, the pole sitter, now back out front. He has led the last 4 laps. Back in a moment.